Joining us now to talk about the threat posed by those who sympathize with ISIS is CNN terrorism analyst Paul Cruikshank. Paul, this is a growing thing, it seems anyway, that we really now need to be concerned about in this country. Would you agree with that?
Rob, I think that's absolutely right. We've now seen a string of these ISIS-inspired lone wolf plots and lone wolf attacks in the West. Ever since really the United States started its military operation against ISIS in Iraq and in Syria.
And it does seem like this young man who's 20 years old really fits the profile. He's a loner. His father tells us he's not really that financially well off. He doesn't have a lot of friends. It looks like or feels like he was looking for a place to belong.
That's absolutely right. And he wasn't somebody who really understood Islam, wasn't brought up in the religion. He converted very, very recently. So he kind of fell prey to this radical message because he didn't have the knowledge to refute what they were telling him about the religious duty of launching attacks and so on and so forth. He appears to have been inspired by Anwar al-Awlaki, who of course we know also inspired and perhaps directed the Paris attacks that we saw play out last week, Rob.
We hear a lot about U.S. citizens now packing up, going overseas for the fight over there. Who should we worry about most? These lone wolf people who are in the U.S. and never leave, or those who go overseas to fight and then come back and bring that brand of terror back here?
Well, that's a great question. The most immediate threat undoubtedly comes from these lone wolves, people who are already in the United States, who are inspired by Al-Qaeda or inspired by ISIS to launch attacks. But perhaps the greater threat comes from people who are actually trained overseas in making bombs.
Paul, thanks very much for your time.